Okay, this is the second, I guess, in actuality, the one I will upload anyway. Podcast. I was supposed to upload the last podcast earlier, but I didn't because I was lazy and I didn't have my computer on me. I just need to back out. Oh god. Why do people park like this? It's very frustrating. Anyway, what I wanted to say was, oh shit. I didn't want to say that really, but actually, I think I can get it. Yep, got it. Turn around and touch the ground. Turn around and touch the ground. Anyway, so with a whole lot of babbling and nothing really said of value, I wanted to get the first one out a lot earlier, but I'll probably be doing it today. Today being the 21st of Feb. I'll probably be doing that one today, and the next one, this one, I'll be probably uploading tomorrow. Because I finally fixed my PC. It works now, and I'll find a way to upload them onto YouTube. Oh god, so many cars. In case you were wondering, I am currently driving, and I talk to myself and record a podcast while I'm driving because it's the only time I can get some peace and quiet. And hopefully not hit a fucking person. Yep. Oh, could have gone through that way. I'll go through that. Sweet. Anyway, today's kind of, let's cool it up a bit. Today's kind of topic was brought up by one of my friends from 2 weeks ago. I mean, a week ago, really. Because they were talking, because they had a Street Fighter 5 tournament, a Rant, and then they had a Street Fighter 4 Rant because they wanted to run it for some reason. I'm not quite sure. I was playing Guilty Gear on the side, so I would have no idea what was happening. But they were like, oh, we'll run a Street Fighter 4 bracket. And then I realized that those people actually like Street Fighter 4, which is kind of surprising to me because I didn't really know that people actually like Street Fighter 4. But they were playing it, and I was like, if you guys like it, why don't you play it every time? Because you clearly seem to be having more fun with this game than you have with Street Fighter 5. And they were like, oh, but one of the reasons that I got, one of the reasons I got that I can't really disagree with, but that's the point of view, is you want to stay in your top shape in the most relevant game, which I personally don't give a fuck about. So it's not a huge point to me, but I can understand that point, and there's not a lot of contention to it. Is if everyone's playing this game and you want to be the best, quote unquote, you want to play a game that a lot of people play so you can get really good at it. So at that point, makes sense to me. I don't really care about that. It's whatever. If people want to think that and they want to play 5, that's up to them. It's not for me, but it's whatever. One of the other reasons I got was switching between games is too difficult, and so it's kind of tough running Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5 brackets at the same time. To which, that really confused me because I'm a person who plays a lot of different games. I play that time I had actually played Guilty Gear. I played a bunch of Vampire Savior. I played some Tekken as well. And those games are they play very differently. And I was able to switch between them like it was nothing. And granted, I was playing against people who weren't super, super good, which always plays a factor in everything. And it's a point that I have to remind myself every time I play a game. But the point was still there. I could switch between the games. I didn't have oh, I'm trying to do this thing in Tekken that only works in Vampire. What the hell am I doing? Partially it is because the games are too different. But even in if between Guilty and Vampire, I wasn't stuck. Oh, this is a thing you do in Vampire. Oh no, I can't do that because and the point. Oh, what the fuck? You fucking idiot. Some idiot just got into some lane. Stay in your fucking lane. Anyway, what really confused me about that was that people were talking about games and because the explanation I got for that, because of the game, you have to think of the game as the character as an extension of yourself, and if you play different characters, you're not gonna make the split-second decisions, and that makes sense at a surface level, but it doesn't really make sense if you think of what games mean. Like, if you think of a fighting game, like if you think about different fighting games as, like, say one of them is hockey, one of them is rugby, stuff like that, you're not gonna, if you play hockey one day and in the evening someone calls you to play rugby, for instance, you're not gonna be like, oh, this is the thing I do in hockey, oh no, you can't do that in rugby. Because you understand the rule sets, and because you know the rule sets, you don't make those kinds of mistakes. You understand that, okay, in rugby, there's one ball and I don't have a stick, so I can't, like, use the stick to poke the little ball. I have to, throw the big ball and then have to hold it in my hand. I can't, let it drop, and etc, etc, etc. There's several rule sets to the game. And as long as you understand the basic rule set, there's no real, like, oh, I played the game in a different way. Like, even at high level, like, for sure, there's people who specialize in a certain game, and they're not going to be, they're going to be very good at one game, but then they're going to focus on a different game, and then they're going to lose focus with the first one, stuff like that. That definitely, like, makes sense to me. Oh, wait, yeah, okay. Fucking levers, man. Anyway, so, but, like, it's not like you, like, just forget that you're playing a different game, especially because Street Fighter 4 and 5 look so goddamn different. They both look ugly, but that's not the point. Like, I've heard of people like Alex Faye and John Choi play, like, they were playing Alpha 2 and Alpha 3 in, like, some tournaments, and Alpha 2 and Alpha 3 look pretty much the same. Like, the only thing that is really different is the HUD on the top, like the life and shit like that. And, like, the characters actually look the same because the sprites have been borrowed, which makes sense from, whatever. It's not the point. But the point is that, like, people, if you look at, like, stuff like, oh, I refer to characters as visuals and stuff like that, and Cammy plays the same and blah, blah, blah. It's like, are you not understanding of the rule set? Do you not have a good understanding of the rule set of the game you're playing? Is because if you understand the rule set and you memorize it, that, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do, this is what happens, you think of the game as rules and rule sets, and what decisions you have to make are governed by those rules. In Street Fighter 4, doing a single normal, like a one-hit normal in footsie range, is not particularly safe. Oh, fuck yeah. I'll go after this one. Because it is very easy to focus and you die. But in Street Fighter 5, that's, the focus mechanic isn't really there. And so, like, footsies are played in a different way, and because the normal spacing and the jumping, etc., it all plays in a different way. So, like, you can't really... Oh, shit, I'm running too fast on that. You can't really think of it in that sort of a perspective. On one hand, I do understand that, people like you are like, okay, I am playing Balrog, and when I'm playing Balrog, I have to anti-air with Crouch Fierce, and, whatever else you anti-air with, and I have to use my sweep, and I have to use my jab into sweep confirm, and I have to use, like, good spaced rush punches, and etc., and, what else. But it's not, like, and the same guy plays Urien, and Urien and Balrog, like, they function on different rule sets. They may play, philosophically speaking, they may play similar, but they have way different rule sets. Like, Urien's anti-airs are different than Balrog's. Actually, are they different? I'm not a Street Fighter 5 head, and I'm not a Street Fighter 4 head, so I'm not gonna be preaching it very well. But, like, if I was to say, like, play, like, Plus R and Exert, and from what I can tell, I'm pretty much going to be playing the same character. I play Mei and Exert, and I play Mei and Plus R. But Mei plays a lot differently, but, like, you're still thinking of the same character, but then it's like, the characters, the names and the faces, etc., they're not what the game is. The game is, okay, in this kind of tool set, I use this thing. In that kind of a tool set, I use that thing. There's FRC on Dolphin in Plus R. There's no FRC in Exert. There's Dolphin rides, hop on Dolphin stuff with Exert, but that's not there in Plus R. But in Plus R, 5k is throw invincible, but in Exert it's not. It's only, low invincible. Like, stuff like that. Then once you, like, understand that your character's tools are all your decisions are ultimately governed by the game you play. Like in Guilty Gear versus Melty Blood, like this is an issue I personally have a little bit. But I like in Melty Blood, I try to anti-air with normals too much, and I don't really like. In Melty Blood, to anti-air with normals, you have to be a lot more preemptive, and you actually need to like focus and actually have really, clean spacing. You can't really mess up, and the opponent, even in the air, they have too many ways to mess you up. And in Guilty Gear, the movement in the air is a little bit less direct, and etc. But I still I have this issue. But that was an issue that I could understand that is a problem with me, and that was a strategy I was trying to do, and I can't do that. So I have to understand that, okay, in Melty Blood, you don't anti-air with normals at a similar speed that you would in Guilty Gear. Because in Guilty Gear, if you react to a jump in, you can pretty much 6B it, depending on the spacing and the timing, of course, in the situation. But, 6B in general, like upper body invincibility, starts up basically frame 1. I'm pretty sure it actually starts frame 1. But you can do stuff like that. You can react to a jump in sort of late and then still do a 6B, and that 6B might hit. But in Melty Blood, normals have their hitboxes come out before their hitboxes. So to anti-air with that, you have to anti-air, much more preemptively, and you have to understand that my opponent can double jump and air dash both at the same time. They don't use up both of their options by just using one of them. In Guilty Gear, if you air dash, you can't air dash then double jump. But in Melty Blood, you can use that. So you can bait someone to anti-air you, and then you can, double jump to kind of be like, haha, I went this way, and stuff like that. But that's not really the point. Tired. But the point is that people have been able to adapt to different things. They have been able to adapt to different games which look very similar. And they have been able to do so, at least in my understanding. I'm not sure if that's what LXY and John Choi thought, is that you understand the rules of the game. And as long as you understand the rules of each different game, your actions are dictated by those rules. And once you understand those rules and your actions, and ultimately it just comes down to, okay, my opponent wants to take this action. In this game, this is how you beat that action. And stuff like that. But in this other game, I can't use the same counter because that's a different game. And in this different game, I have to use this different counter and stuff like that. And I'm about to reach my next site, so I'm gonna have to turn the recording off. My upload schedule is gonna be all over the place. I'm starting uni again in March. My third year starts up, so I might not be able to record as frequently, or I may be able to record more frequently. I'm not really sure. I'll have to see when I get there. I'll also be going to a tournament, which is pretty cool for me, because I really want to travel more often and play good people, good players, but also good people, instead of just good players who are actually not that good people. And I'm about to reach. Get out of my way, Sparrow. Cool. There's no parking. There's actually this box. Coolio Fulio. But yeah. And I'm here. I'll just have a chocolate before I go, but I'll turn the recording off. Wait, was that actually? Oh, okay, there we go. 13 minutes, that's fine. Hopefully this should be up soon. I really want to upload the other one a lot sooner, but this one I really want to upload soon. So, yeah.